this thing
Oh,
going.
I had a happy time last night telling people, I've been doing this for 5 years.
I know, it's been a long time.
5 years.
Long time,
And
we're
that kid
old
does not look-
people.
She's a kid.
I know,
One
still a
day
big
old.
baby. All right, well, let's sit cross-legged to start. And you can place your hands over the top or inside of your thighs. Let's close our eyes. Hopefully you don't smell too sweaty from all the heat. It's gross. So remember, we're using this time to check in, see how you're feeling. So if anything feels off, now is the time to take those mental notes or just appreciate the good stuff. If you're feeling extra energized today, or if you feel extra bendy, acknowledge that stuff too. Take a big breath in. We're going to place a hand behind us, and as you exhale, you can rotate away. Inhale, turn through the center. We're going to exhale the other way. Again, breathing in, turning through the center, exhaling to turn. Breathe in, move through the center, exhale, twist. And again, breathe in and out. And breathe in and twist to breathe out. Okay, let's bring it back to the front. We're going to walk those hands forward, fold over those legs. Two more breaths here. Trying to relax through your hips. We're going to inhale and to bring the hands back. Undo those feet. You can just kind of place them next to each other. If you want to wiggle your toes out for a sec, you can. We're going to drop the knees to one side. Get our yawns out. Drop the knees to the other side. Again, inhaling through. Exhale to the side. Again, breathe in. Exhale over. One more to each side. Nice and easy. And last one. Awesome. Knees back up to the middle. You can walk your feet out just a little bit. Let's fold over those legs. Relaxing through that spine. Inhale, take those hands back. Bottoms of the feet together. You can drop the knees out. Just lift the chest toward the ceiling. And try to feel like your belly button and the front of your pelvis kind of rolls forward. So we're opening up in the middle part of the thighs. Okay, we're walking those hands forward. Let's fold over those feet. Lots of bendy things. So let's inhale, bring those knees up and together. You can send the legs out long. Just bob the knees out for a moment. Hands down here. One more time, let's kind of move those feet forward and fold it over. Try to relax through the back of those legs, but you don't have to crank all the way down. Awesome. Let's inhale. We're going to go ahead and lay backwards on the mat. I'm going to turn sideways here. Go ahead and lay on back on your mat. And try to stretch your spine out a little bit. So we're allowing the top of the head to stretch up toward the top of your mat. So your chin is going to fall down into your chest a little bit. You can feel like you're anchoring your tailbone down. So you're going to scoot your hips away from your shoulders and let your spine stretch a little bit on the mat. And while you're letting your back stay in that stretched position, let's go ahead and inhale, bring those knees up toward the chest. Just a couple more breaths. Remember, you don't have to keep your knees hugged together. If they need to kind of move away from each other to make it easier on your hips, you can let them separate. Now we're going to send one leg down straight on the mat again, so sending it underneath you. We're going to take this leg and let's cross it over the body, so trying to reach toward the other side of the mat and keep your chest open toward the ceiling. Excuse me. Awesome. Let's inhale, draw that leg back up to your chest, pull the other leg up to join it, hugging for a second. And then the same with the other side. We're going to send that leg out nice and straight. Take that knee, cross it over to the other side of the mat. It doesn't have to touch the floor. We're just stretching over. And you're going to keep your chest open toward the ceiling. Awesome. Let's inhale, draw that knee in again. You can go ahead and send the legs out nice and long. Stretch the hands out overhead. So we're stretching, reaching the hands up, spreading out those fingertips, spreading out the toes. Stretching and yawning as if we just woke up. Awesome. Okay, so you can bring those hands down. We're gonna roll over onto our belly. And turn a little bit again here. Okay, so onto our belly here. Let's pull those forearms in. So elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms down on the mat, and just lift through the chest, pulling those shoulders back. So kind of pulling your shoulder blades down and together. Taking a few breaths. Big breath in. We're going to exhale. Go ahead and lower your chest down to the mat. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Fix my hair here. Relaxing through the back of that, or sorry, your lower back again. Now, big breath in. As you exhale, we're going to bend one knee and try to pull your heel as close to your butt as you can. And you can either just hold that position, or if you have the mobility, you can reach your hand back there and try to grab hold of your ankle or your heel. You can just touch your heel if that's all you can do. One more breath in. On the exhale, you can lower that down. We're going to repeat on the other side. Pull that heel up towards your bottom, holding that position for a sec. Then you can reach the hand back and grab hold. If you can reach back there, give it a couple breaths. On the next exhale, you can relax that leg down. We're going to repeat again on the first leg. So bending that knee, pulling that heel close to your bottom, trying to stretch that hand back there if you're up for it. Relaxing that leg down, and then same thing on the second side. Bend that knee, pull your heel up, grab hold, and just hold that position. Couple of breaths. Very good. You can let that leg go when you're ready. We're going to pull the hands in, push up off of the floor, and we're going to go into a tabletop position because we're going to go into cat and cow in a second. So spread out those fingers on the mat, hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. We don't have the legs crossed. We've got them sticking straight off the back of your thighs. Big breath in, and as you inhale, we're lifting our forehead and tailbone, little arch in the spine, holding for a couple of breaths. Again, inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to round through the spine, lifting that spine toward the ceiling, tucking your forehead and tailbone. Again, let's inhale, arch through the spine, lift your forehead and your tailbone. Couple breaths. Again, on the next exhale, you'll round like you're hugging the bubble. Continue once more through both of those on your own. Hold as long as you need to. If you like one better, then hold the one you like better a little bit longer. Awesome. Okay, so from here, we're going to send the knees out a little bit wide, bring the big toes together. We're going to take one hand, pull it up past the other arm, and stretch toward the ceiling. So big twist. And we're going to take that hand and run it underneath and behind the other arm. We're trying to settle that shoulder as close to the floor as you can. And for anybody at home, if you want to put a pillow underneath your shoulder, if that's easier for you, that might prop you up some. Staying here for a couple of breaths. One more big breath in and out. And when you're ready, we're going to pull that hand up, place it down on the mat. We're going to repeat on the other side. We're pulling that bow, reaching that hand up toward the ceiling. Big stretch off to the side. And then when you're ready, we're threading the needle, moving that hand behind the other arm and turning the chest and shoulders. And once again, we're trying to settle that chest or that shoulder to the ground if you can, or on top of whatever you have to lift you up. Two more breaths. Awesome. We're going to pull that arm up. Okay, we're going to sit down onto our bottom for a sec, getting off the knees. We're going to move into a 90-90. So if both legs are off to the side, you can just pull one leg up. You want your front leg to be straight out in front of you and angled in. Back leg will be off to the side and angled back. We're turning toward our front leg, settling those hips down for a sec. So just trying to get somewhat comfortable in that shape. We're going to walk the hands forward nice and easy. Try to lower your belly button and your chest down toward the inside of your thigh. Let's give it a few more breaths, trying to relax through that front hip. If you want to stay here longer, go ahead and hang out here. If you're ready to come up out of that shape, you can push yourself up and back. And we're going to take the backside arm, reach it over to your back leg. Start to get a slight angle. And if you need to keep that other hand there to kickstand you so that you don't topple over, just keep that hand off to the side. If you're more comfortable with this, you can stretch that hand around and reach towards your shin. Two more breaths. All right, let's go ahead and pull up out of that shape. Now, if your legs are in the right spot, all you got to do is keep your feet right where they are. You can just flip your knees to the other side, like breakdancing. Ta-da! Okay, so same thing the other way. You want your front leg to be sticking straight off in front of you and angling in. Back leg angles off to the side and angles back. And right now, you're just trying to settle into that shape. So if you need to move your knees around somewhere, you can. Yep, so you got a little bit of space here. You'll want to take your front foot and move it out a little bit. So letting that back hip sink down. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands forward. Same thing, we're going to settle over that front leg. Trying to relax through that front hip. And you can go as low as you're comfortable with. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor, but wherever you decide to stop, should be a little sticking point. You can just hang out there for a second. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, bring it on up, and we're going to be stretching toward that back leg. So if you want to stay there longer, go ahead. Back arm is going to reach over towards your back shin. We're starting to get a little angle over. Other hand can kickstand you off behind you if you need. Otherwise, you can start to reach that hand around toward your shin. One more big breath in. Exhale and come on up. We're going to do one little hard thing before we end out today. So hands are going to go down on the mat. You can send your feet back. We're going to go up into downward dog. So curl your toes under first. If you need to stretch those feet out some, you can kind of set your hips back. If you want to stay back here in downward puppy, whatever, that's fine. Otherwise, when you're ready, you'll move your hips up and away from your hands. Sinking those heels down only as far as you can. Keeping those hips high, 2 more breaths. Then we're going to keep those feet anchored to the floor. We're going to move the hips forward. You might have to wiggle your feet back a little bit and move into a high plank. So body nice and flat. Give it 2 breaths. And for the last bit, we're going to drop the knees down, allow the feet to lay flat, and you can sink through your hips, lift through your chest and shoulders. Give this one 2 breaths. Big cobra. The hips are sinking toward the floor. There you go. Awesome. And then lower down at the end of this breath. Awesome. You can go ahead and flip over onto your back, or if you want to stay on your belly, you can. Last couple minutes, we're going to spend just kind of enjoying all the stretchiness that we just did. So you'll find a position that's comfortable. You can close your eyes, place your hands on your belly or palms up next to you on the mat, and just breathe for these last few moments. We can stay here for another moment or two. And as you decide you're all done for today, you can stretch out anything that we missed or just sit up whenever you're all done. Awesome. Well, thank you all for coming, my online people. I'm gonna shut you off now. We'll be back again on Monday.